It's been a few months since I last posted anything to this channel. I think the last you heard from me was right at the beginning of summer. This has been an extremely difficult season for me. It was a season of suffering, a season of rest, a season of joy, and a season of gratefulness. It's only recently that I felt enough like myself that I could resume all my household tasks, as well as have the energy to film, edit, and voice over these videos. I want to thank you all for all your kind messages, all the prayers. Just knowing that I had so many people out there rooting for me during this difficult season, it gave me encouragement to keep going during the really rough times. My summer did not go as I had planned. We had started a big, beautiful garden, and I was ready to get my plants underway and to have the best gardening season yet. And immediately after planting all our seeds, I was put on bed rest and stuck on the couch for weeks and weeks at a time. Needless to say, I did not have the best gardening season yet. The garden was a pretty big failure, and it was frustrating to see all that work go to waste, but there's always next year. One of the things I found very difficult to deal with was my inability to get up off the couch and take care of the kids and the house the way I wanted to. I became extremely frustrated with God for having put me in a situation where He blessed me with all these children and all these tasks and responsibilities, and yet I was no longer able to complete them the way that I wanted to. Looking back, I think I became very depressed. There were many days that all I did was cry multiple times a day and call my husband at work and tell him about how sad I was and how I did not feel okay and how I didn't know how I was going to get through the next couple months. And it took me a little bit of time to realize that one of the biggest challenges that I was facing was actually my mindset. So I decided that even though I was confined to the couch and very limited in what I could do, I was still thankful for the help that I was receiving from my children, from my husband, from my parents, and for the prayers and support that I was getting from my family. I decided to get rid of all social media, including Instagram and Facebook, and even checking on YouTube, because comparison is a thief of joy, and I couldn't watch or hear or see another video about someone's garden or how well their lives were going. And so I decided to just fall back on myself and my little family and just focus on that. If you're curious about the recipe I am currently making, it's a sourdough coffee cake from Farmhouse on Boone. I'll go ahead and link the recipe in the description below. During this time, I actually stumbled across a book called Trustful Surrender to Divine Providence. And in it, it basically explained that when something happens to us, anything at all, a good thing, a bad thing, all these things are actually ordered by God for our benefit. And once I started seeing this time of suffering as something that would eventually benefit me, bring me closer to God, and bring me closer to heaven, I decided to switch my mindset. And since I no longer had comparison of Instagram and Facebook and YouTube to fall onto, I was really able to let go of my expectations that I had and be open to whatever God wanted to teach me through this process. After a really intense 6 weeks, things started getting a little bit easier, and I was able to resume some activity. But it's really taken me a while to get back into the swing of all the busyness that homesteading and homemaking and life with 6 children entails. I am making a miracle soup. This is something my mom used to make all the time when I was younger, and I'm switching out a few ingredients in it. It's basically just a vegetable soup that I've added some ground beef to for some protein. I will go ahead and post the recipe to this soup below in the description. Even now, many months later, I'm still having to deal with some limitations. And there are multiple moments throughout the day where I have to get my 8-year-old son to lift something for me or to help me out with a task that's too difficult at the moment. For someone like me who's so used to having to do everything myself and not wanting anyone's help, it's been a huge lesson in humility to ask for help, especially from the people closest to me, which I know it sounds so weird to think that I'm having a hard time asking people close to me for help, but I think that I don't want to bother others or be a burden to them, and so asking them for help is really, really difficult. But I have asked for help because I had no other choice. So what does this all mean for my channel going forward? Well, I'm hoping to start posting more regularly. I'm not committing to a schedule just yet because I am still not 100% back to normal, and so my energy waxes and wanes, and I just need to be very careful not to overexert myself. And I know if I set some hard deadlines, I'm just going to stress myself out. But I am back, and you will see more of me, so you can keep your eyes peeled for that. If you yourself have also gone through a season of suffering and overcome it by just changing your mindset on it, I would love to hear from you. Please go ahead and post that down in the comments below. One of the things that kept me going during this time is hearing about others' challenges and how they themselves got past it just by changing their mindset. Sometimes these seasons last a little bit longer than we would like, and it's nice to know that there are others out there going through the same thing. And that's it for me this week. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't done so already, please go ahead and subscribe. I will be back soon, hopefully with another video.